Super Bowl's done. I blew it.
I got it right.
I played with my. Draft. The NBA's halfway through.
Yep, we're at the All-Star break finally.
Yep, finally there.
Had the big press conference on WWE.
Oh,
little change of heart on the world there.
We got to talk about that one. And then while we're at it, the NCAA is getting close to March Madness.
March Madness is coming.
Come on in. Let's talk about it. And welcome back to the Midnight Riders podcast. I'm Johnny.
I'm Chuck.
Episode 10. We made it to 10.
Double digits.
Double
digits, baby.
Two hands, man. Here we go. I like it.
Yes, sir.
A lot to talk about this week, man. We finally, this is a slow time of year, but good old WWE helps us out with a little bit extra talk about.
Oh, you gotta love the Rock
in your heart. You gotta love it.
Gotta love the Rock.
The whole. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll get there in a minute. Let's talk about Super Bowl. Super Bowl's over. Episode 9. Go back. I said it. I wanted the 49ers. I wanted the 49ers to win.
I wanted them to win too, but realistic. I think if you go back and listen to what I said,
yeah.
I'm tired of picking against them.
Asshole.
And Mahomes
I know.
is freaking Mahomes, and it's just
good
Lord.
I've read story, and I know the hype is there, and I know the media loves it, and I guess, are we media?
I think so. We're at 10 episodes. That's media. Hell yeah, we are.
So I have to officially hate myself. I have to hate myself.
Yes.
Oh, well. Oh, by the way, there's Henry back here. Henry's going to join the show tonight. But anyway, I was reading some stuff online, and they're already talking about Mahomes as, you guessed it, the next Tom Brady.
The GOAT. Number 6 on the GOAT list. Or
I can't argue.
No. I mean, what are you going to argue about? I mean,
the
guy wins.
The guy, I'm the first one to say, and I've always argued this point that one guy does not win it. In the NBA, one guy can make it that much of a difference.
Sure.
Baseball, it can't happen. Football, it can't happen. Not that much, but.
But you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody who win. San Francisco should have been up 17-3 at halftime.
Deep seat
should have been.
But Mahomes didn't play a single down of defense.
Right.
So it's a team effort, team win.
But who amongst us?
I know.
When it got to the end of the game,
I know.
And Mahomes has the ball. Who actually thought, well, they're going to punt? No, you thought he's going to drive down, he's going to score a touchdown, they're going to win. I mean,
absolutely.
You don't.
Absolutely, but you see the overtime. Let's start with the overtime thing.
I'm still confused about the overtime.
Well, the overtime. I look now in
even the players didn't even know.
No, some of them did. Kansas City did.
Not well.
During the season, if you play one overtime period, and it's tied, the game ends in a tie.
Correct.
In the playoffs, they just keep playing quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. So I forgot that.
I did too.
I thought, my God, they better hurry. They better hurry. They didn't call a timeout. My God, you got 3 timeouts. Call a timeout. Stop the clock. And then they just go down there and they slowly they knew they had other plays come the second quarter of overtime because that's what the playoff system is. I mean, San Francisco's coach, he comes out and says, yeah, we knew, but we wanted to.
If you knew, why would you take the ball?
For third possession. The way he's saying for third possession, meaning,
okay,
I'm going to score, and then
you're just taking for granted.
If they score, the third team that scores wins the game. You get an opportunity of two chances with the ball rather than one.
Yeah, I guess.
And which is why he took the field goal. Then he said, put it in the defense's hands, stop them to a field goal. We win this game. Which, if you look at it that way, okay. I don't know.
I don't.
It's armchair quarterback in 101, and we're all going to sit here and say, I wouldn't have done. No, I don't know what the hell I'd have done. I still thought there was only one overtime period, so I'd have blown it too. So.
They did such a good job early in the game, keeping the ball out of Mahomes' hands.
Sure.
It was ugly. It was not a very good first half. There was mistakes. There were turnovers.
Not at all.
Second half, it picked up. Second half.
And see, that again, that's where I give the kudos. They shouldn't have been in the game.
No.
San Francisco should have blew them out.
Yeah.
But then again, the
Good.
defense, Kansas City's defense played head and shoulders better than what I thought Kansas City's defense was going to play.
Sure. And I think that was one of my points also. When you go back and listen, you need to go back and look at episode 9. One of my points was cornerbacks for the Chiefs.
Episode 9. Yeah, you're right. They were incredible. The Chiefs, they didn't stop the run, but it didn't really matter. It was
McCaffrey had a hell of a game.
I mean,
we both said
it was just it didn't
matter.
It's the intangibles. Kansas City's been there recently. Frisco was there 4 years ago. I don't know how many guys were still left on the team that played 4 years ago. Quite a few of them. No, I mean San Francisco.
No.
But
yeah.
What do you hear? Siren?
Yeah.
It's my alert.
Time to get serious.
But I mean the 49ers. They played well. They're going to be around. They're going to be here.
Yeah. I was impressed with Purdy. I really thought the moment might overwhelm him a little bit, being in the Super Bowl.
Dogs are howling at the siren going down. We have all kinds of alert systems around here. Well, I mean, Mahomes.
Purdy played well.
Purdy played well.
Really did.
The team played well. The defense played well. You could tell at the very end they were both running out of gas.
They were tired.
I mean, both offense and defensive lines on both sides of the. My God, it was a war down there.
Yeah,
that was good old time football.
It was good football. A lot of running, short passing.
Oh, just good old smash them out, old 1960s and 70s, and just down in the dirt. It was incredible.
It started out to be a pretty boring game, or ugly. I guess boring really wasn't the word. It wasn't real boring. It was just ugly. Mm-hmm. I said a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalty issues.
I understand San Francisco being a little tight, but they seemed more loose in the beginning. Kansas City was tight. It was weird.
That Purdy was right off the bat. Purdy's rolling out, making plays.
I know.
Wow, that's more than what I thought was going to happen.
So do you think they're back next year, both of them? Both teams?
It depends on where Caleb Williams goes. Sorry, I can't say that with a straight face.
That's true. The whole NFL decides on where Caleb Williams goes. Whenever you get in, that's a nice little segue into the draft. The draft story is turning into it's almost a comical atmosphere. I mean, the Bears are sitting there just doing whatever the hell the Bears want to do, and I keep evaluating it and keep thinking about it week after week and I keep thinking everything I read says Caleb he's got the tools to be the next greatest quarterback. He's got this, he's got that. He can do this, he can do that, but I still think the attitude and the lack of heart matters.
There's people coming out on that, and now I'm starting to see some stories saying, he's got the intangibles. Yes, he could be a game changer. He could be the next best thing. But I don't see it. I think Merrill Hodge came out and said, I don't see it. I don't see it mentally. I don't see him.
That's what gets me.
Getting over the top of what's going to happen in the NFL.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't think he's got the backbone. I don't think he's got as they say, the intestinal fortitude to be at that level in the NFL. I don't know. Prove me wrong.
You better grow. I mean,
it's not the first time I've been wrong about something in sports.
It's not just, unfortunately, everybody, we've followed it for years. Everybody who knows it's not just having the talent. You got a lot to get through. And I mean, let's assume for a second. The Bears do step up and draft him. They deal Fields. They're going to have to deal him. They're not going to keep him. Yeah, I hope they deal him because there's a lot of Pittsburgh talk. So I'm all for that.
Well, they deal him to Pittsburgh. I mean, they're not. The big talk was to deal him as quick and get a higher pick as you can. Mm-hmm. So they think 3 quarterbacks are going to go bang, 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 which leaves the 4th pick. They're thinking Bears figure out a way to trade all this mess, to twist it and turn it, and get Marvin Harrison as well. I mean, my God.
But again, I don't own the team. There's a reason, but I still think Fields is good. I would say
he's a good quarterback.
Why don't you? Because the number 2 and the number 3, they're both going to want Williams too. By the sounds of it, if you get a good Field, hell, dump down to number 2 and 3. Keep Fields. Get Harrison. Start building around Justin Fields. He has no targets right now.
Nah, he has no
targets. Lord, go get Harrison.
Well, they got the 9th pick.
Right.
So get you a weak side tackle to protect Fields' back, for God's sakes, and I mean you're ready to go.
You keep Fields, you drop to number 2, you get either another first round pick or you get another 1 or 2 good players, a couple of linemen, whatever else. You go down to number 2 or number 3, you get Harrison. Number 9, you get a tackle. I mean, come on. I don't know.
That's a good setup.
It's a good setup for them. I hope they don't do it because I'm really hoping Fields ends up in Pittsburgh somehow, some way. So,
well, I'll tell you. Well, Trubisky's
gone.
Yeah, they cut him. I mean, he's gone. He's out, and which is no big loss.
The thing is, it's a big deal for those of us who have followed the Steelers forever. The Steelers aren't ones to clean house. They're not ones.
Never have.
When the contracts come up, it just drove me crazy for years. A lot of times they wouldn't pay the big money. They would just say, you know what, we'll replace you, move on.
But it's always worked because they got a good organization.
And now, like I say, they told Trubisky to, you suck, go on your way. And they've gotten rid of. They're cutting people, and now there's talk about them making a splash. And that, for me, I'm excited because they very rarely do that.
Well, but making a splash can mean a lot of things. I mean, I
don't know if you totally give up on Pickett, but bring Fields in and make him compete because
the kid hasn't shown him anything.
No, in 2 years,
he's painfully hurt. He's hurt. He's already shown that he's made of glass.
Yeah.
If you don't take, this draft this year is loaded with quarterbacks.
Yes.
It's loaded.
That's what I'm thinking. If they don't go out, if they don't make the Fields deal happen, they're going to get a quarterback. It may be third, fourth, fifth round later on. They're going to get a quarterback. And
there are a lot of them in there,
and they'll put some pressure on Pickett.
And the Falcons. My Falcons, they're in their conversation for Fields.
Yeah, well, that's another one that's been related. That's been messaged back to Pittsburgh is Desmond Ridder. They're talking about him because Tomlin likes him. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about him.
Well, Ridder, he's like a lot of them out. He didn't have any help,
right?
But then again, is there any more help in Pittsburgh? Right. So it's just like every year, it's a crapshoot.
They got the Falcons' old coach, so he's got he's got some connection with Ridder. He's got some people. So
he knows his strengths and his weaknesses.
Yeah, he knows his personnel there. So
it's going to run the same kind of offense. So the draft's coming up, and that'll be fun to watch. I'm just curious to see where they go with Williams. I really, really wish the Bears would just not trade the pick somebody else, pick another quarterback.
No, I think it'd be great if he fell, even if he falls to 4 or 5, just to have the camera on his face, a little bit of a dose of reality, and maybe he'll prove. Not everybody, because there's still people who are saying he's going to be the greatest thing that's ever stepped on the field.
But, so was Sam Bradford. So was Tim Tebow.
I'm still going to love to see the look on his face if he don't go number 1. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, all right then. Let's move on.
Move on. NBA.
Move on.
NBA.
We're at the midpoint.
We're at the midpoint.
We're halfway there.
And who would have thought the Thunder had been number 2? Thought they were still another year away, and my goodness.
Well, Giddey's playing great. Wait a minute, Giddey?
Yeah.
Is it Giddey? It's not Giddey. It is Giddey.
Yeah, it's Giddey.
He's playing. I love the name.
I don't think he'll be there come next year. I think he's going to be one that's going to go away. He's going to be part of it.
Look at.
Well, they're going to have to do the contracts for Holmgren and for J-Dub and for Shea, of course. They don't have the room.
Somebody's got to go away.
Yeah, Dort's going to probably go. Giddey's going to probably go.
Right.
I love the pickup of Gordon Hayward.
Well, Hayward's going to be nothing but help.
Right, that's all. He's a veteran.
Oh, he's going to teach. You have to have at least one. Well, remember the year they went to the finals. They brought in Derek Fisher.
Right.
Who helped them get through
and they had
where
Perkins.
They needed. They had Perkins.
Right. They had some veterans.
I can't. Right now they're sitting what? They're sitting number 2 in the West.
Yep. 1 game behind Minnesota.
You still got 47, 54. 28 more games? No, 28 games more. 28 games to go.
That's another thing. Why? I was watching something the other day about these teams tiring out. They got so many games. It's not a halfway point anymore.
Well, I don't. Shut up! You're making $28 million a year. Play basketball. Get me out your tired crap.
Yeah, they're killing. But yeah,
I'm not an athlete. I'm not a professional athlete. I know it takes a lot out of you, but when you're getting 28, 30, 40, some of these guys $50 million a year, shut up. Go play.
Yeah.
Just go play. Yeah, they might be tired. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you can get your personal masseuse who flies around the country with you and give you a massage that night. No.
Never mind what I said.
Sympathy.
Disregard it. We'll go back and delete what I said.
I can't even walk sometimes, but I don't have a personal masseuse to take care of my knees. But I know they get tired. It's a long season. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But, do you cut the season short just so you can make the playoffs longer?
No.
The NBA won't do it. It'll cost them money.
That's why they did the tournament this year, the in-season
tournament.
Well,
but the tournament added games.
Yeah. Well, they just built it into the season.
No, they didn't. It's going to add games to the teams that made the finals because they had to play extra 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, but the only one's going to bitch about that's going to be LeBron.
Of course, because he played extra games. Bless his little heart.
So he needs to get more.
Well, LeBron. But anyway, Minnesota's looking good. In the West, I don't really see a dominant factor.
No,
you've got 5 or 6 teams that can win the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City, of course, can the youth movement stay strong and
can they go the whole season?
Because they're going to be in good shape. They're younger. They're hungry. But you're playing Denver, the defending champions. You've got Minnesota, who just they're
so big.
They're strong.
They're fun to watch.
They're strong.
I watched I don't know if you saw the Thunder game last night.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch
I watched it, but it was pretty. They played well. It was pretty telling. At the end of the game, they have an interview. They bring in J-Dub, and he's talking, and he makes it a point to bring in Holmgren, to bring in like 3 or 4 of them, and talk. And the announcer made the comment, well, people are. You're the second youngest team. You think it's going to last. People are saying, you're not sure if you're going to go on. And just the attitude they have there, his comment was something along the lines of, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Sure.
And that was it. There wasn't any...
We're not boasting.
There was no... You're going to say what you're used to hearing or seeing from some of these guys.
Sit back and watch. And let's see let's do it together.
Let's see what we're going to do. God, they're good to
watch. Because whenever you see some of the stars that have been there forever, and I hear the after game interviews, well, I just thank my teammates and my teammates. Shut up.
Yeah.
No. When you're scoring 45 or 50 a game, you're not really thinking too much about your teammates. But again, here I go. I need to really stop doing that. It's an age thing when you get that age. But anyway, it's a good. The West is fun to watch. It's always fun to watch. The West is always competitive.
I think.
But then
you're looking at Boston.
We move to the East.
Yeah, you're looking at Boston. Again, Cleveland surprised me. Cleveland, Milwaukee, who, man, the team they got, and they've been. I think what are they 35-20? Yeah.
Who?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, 35-20.
Everybody was expecting them to. Shine through it, and they're struggling.
Well,
they're struggling right now.
I
know 35-20 is not much of a struggle. Well, still for them, it's a struggle.
I've been watching it fairly close, and
Philadelphia.
Boston's so good.
Boston's good. Philadelphia's in trouble because Embiid's out.
But the thing, Boston's going to be Boston is the LA Dodgers of the NBA. They win. They get to the playoffs. They win, and then they lose. They can't.
That's bullshit.
Bring
that into the.
I took a shot.
Bring that into the conversation.
That's just what's happened the past several years. They can't
close it out.
They can't get that, and I don't know why they're year in and year out. They're good.
Yeah.
They're solid.
Yeah,
they're consistent. They're disciplined.
Jason Tatum is. He don't get talked about a ton.
I know.
He still gets talked about a lot. All-star team and all that other mess, but. You don't hear about him as much, but man, he's something else.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah. He's
fun to watch, and he's got help, and it's Boston. It's
Boston
known.
Should be the East. Yeah.
It's known for their basketball. When they get in the playoffs, that place goes nuts. It's hard to win in Boston.
That's why I don't think Cleveland's gonna. I think Cleveland will. They'll fall back in the pack, I think, as the season goes on.
Well, yeah.
The Knicks, I think, will fall back. The Sixers, unfortunately, I think they're just trying to hang on with Embiid being hurt and out. I don't think they're going to last, but we'll see. The Heat and the Pacers, I look for the Pacers. I think they're going to be kind of a surprise. I like their team.
Yeah.
we'll see how they come alive. But yeah, I think it's still going to be a West. It's going to be a West thing. As again,
well, the West is going to be fun to watch. But if it were to start today, could anybody in the West beat Boston?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't put it. I mean, of course, heart pick. I think the Thunder could hang. I don't think they would beat them in the 7-game series. But Minnesota, man, they're big. They're long.
Well, the thing is,
who's everything.
Who's going to be healthy at the end of the year?
Right.
Who's gonna not be as tired?
And
who's
that's going to be the Thunder. They've been healthy. They haven't.
Well, because they're young.
Right.
I mean, they're young. They're deep. Oh yeah.
They don't have to go.
Well,
6,
then they added.
Guys.
Then they added
Hayward,
and doesn't do anything but add to what's going on over there.
Because the couple that they let go in the trade, I mean, he's gonna. I mean, I think I was looking at the two that play the left are about 10 to 15 minutes a game, which would be what Hayward's going to float right into.
Sure, but they're playing that. They're playing that unselfish ball on the floor that you have to play to win continuously and be successful. Right. You get rid of it. Don't play me.
Yeah, and they don't. Even with somebody as good as Shea, I bought the first. I said the game last night. I think the first 6-7 minutes, he never took a shot. He didn't have to.
Well, if we go back to the year the Thunder went to the finals against the Heat, you had Durant, you had Westbrook, you had Harden, you had Ibaka, you had Perkins, you had Robertson, you had Cephalosha. You got all these guys.
Ooh, good call.
Thank you.
I remember Cephalosha.
And you had Reggie Jackson too. And it wasn't get the ball to Durant every time at the end of the game. Right. It was get the ball to whoever's open.
Because you had guys who could hit shots.
Because you had guys that could. You had guys that could hit shots. You had the rest of the team trusted all the other players on the team. Everybody wanted to help. And with the LeBron teams and the Curry teams, and it's always get the ball to him at the end of the game. Find him, get it to him. And it's just fun to watch. We've watched that kind of ball around here before when the old crew was here. We're watching it again, and it's just fun. It's fun basketball to watch.
And you got to give props to. I know everybody in the industry in the NBA does it, but you got to give props to Presti. What he's done.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it is seen as recent as last year and the year before.
Yeah.
Any of our guys would shoot a 3-pointer, and I mean, majority of the time you'd hold your breath because it wasn't good. Now they're, I think, second in the league in 3-point shooting. Their efficiency is the top 2 or 3, and it's just I know they got they got the shooting instructor that came in from San Antonio, but man, they
went out and got a coach that could coach kids.
Exactly, I was gonna say, and they didn't go after the quote big name coach or get a guy. They brought the guy up, a Thunder guy,
who's been in the organization. They
been with Presti,
promoted him up, and
it's what he needed to do. And
it's a system that works. Same thing you did with Scotty Brooks. It's the same thing. It's just so well. Presti knows what he's doing.
Yeah. It's gonna be a sad day when he moves on.
Well, I'm just like you say, that these guys are getting close to contract time, and this may be their only shot before they start splitting up the band. And I don't want it to be. I hope they can go at least one more year.
Well, I think they'll latch on. I mean, they're going to spend max contracts. I mean, it's only the second contract, so they should be able to keep Holmgren,
right?
William, the J.W. Williams,
right,
and Shea.
Right.
I think the rest of the crew is when you're going to have to start.
Yeah, decide who's going to. But then you can get second tier player or second line players, and so.
Well, look at the guys they got coming off the bench. Isaiah Joe and those other guys that are. I mean, who's good Lord,
I can't.
The guy coming off the bench that could start anywhere. I
sure.
mean, they're stacked. They're loaded, and they got 57 draft picks.
They got a ton of them, and then and that's what he did. He stacked all those draft picks, and suffered.
Yes,
3 or 4 years.
We all suffered.
It was ugly.
It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch, but he kept telling everybody just wait it out.
Yes,
here's what we're doing. We're looking at the long game. We're working at the big picture, and here's what we're doing. And man, I think everybody was thinking next year and the year after was when they were really going to make a push. But my goodness.
It's going to be a fun it's going to be a fun second half of the season.
Down the stretch, last 25 to 30 games for everybody. It's going to be a good down the stretch.
Hang on and let's watch.
Yep. Hey, you got the All-Star game coming up. 187 to 175.
Why do they even play it? Why do they even?
So I wish they do what football's done now. Just go to this. They already do the 3-point, and I'll watch the 3-point contest and the dunk and the skills.
I don't watch the dunk contest. I don't like it.
I try to. It's sucked the past few years, but I try to watch it. Because I
Well,
like the skills things better than I do the game. The game and football figured that out. Nobody was watching the game. Nobody cared about the game.
well, the skills thing. I love the 3-point competition, and that one is okay. But whenever you get to the dribbling the ball and passing the ball, you can just look in the guy's eyes, and they really don't want to be there.
Right.
They don't. They just they're being told to do it. Now the 3-point competition, that's a skills competition. But the dunk thing, it just
they need to do something because watching the All-Star game is just, I mean, and they make a big deal about the first year, the rookies against the second-year players, and and all that, which is
they take that one a little bit serious.
I say it was a little bit better because they actually get after it a little bit.
They take that a little bit more serious.
But
these guys are trying to get. Those guys are still there. They're
still playing for. I mean,
but the All-Star,
they're still playing for contracts.
I mean the All-Star game,
But yeah,
they'll never give it. They'll never give out the most valuable defensive player in an All-Star game because there is none. They pass the ball and they stand there and watch, and they throw it in. And they stand there and watch. I mean, it's just a timed slam dunk competition, and so I can do without it. But oh well, and we move on.
Man, how about that press conference too? Last Thursday, the world, the sports entertainment world went a little crazy for the last week, and WWE kind of changed their direction real quick.
See the whole Vince McMahon thing. And
still a scumbag.
We were gonna do another episode of that, but it just got. There's only so many showers a guy can take in any day.
It got dirty. We're going to wait for
you talk about
some stuff to come down now.
And it's pretty. It's
no
just
pun intended.
It's just more and more. It just gets worse and worse. Yeah. But it's going to get worse. But whenever The Rock came out 2 or 3 weeks back and he did the whole I'm taking Cody's spot, and then we've seen this happen before.
Sure.
The whole Daniel Bryan thing is the most recent one where and
that's when everybody's comparing it.
Well, when the WWE universe stepped up and said, this ain't gonna go.
Right.
But they didn't listen. They didn't listen. They didn't listen. They kept not listening until they finally had to listen and let him win the title at WrestleMania. Right. This one hit faster.
Yeah, they didn't waste any time. I got a feeling
this one hit fast and this one hit hard.
I think this took off because of The Rock, and I think he was thinking. I don't know.
Right.
I'm assuming he was thinking, I'll put myself in it. We'll get all the stuff away from Vince and that craziness. Right. The crowd will go crazy. It'll be me and Roman. And it didn't work out that way.
Well, I've got a lot of weird shit going on in my head about this. One of my things is, your brain, again, thanks for watching. A lot of you are wrestling fans, I hope, because we live and breathe it.
If you're not listening to us, you'll become
by this time in episode 10. Hopefully, you've been listening to all of them. You see how deep we're into this crap, or entertainment, but
sports entertainment.
One side of me wants to say that they're going to do the Roman Rock thing because what the hell? Let's do it. We're going to let Roman beat Hulk Hogan's record anyway, so he can't even go. Cody can't even go for the title till after SummerSlam because it's going to be August or September for him to break the record. So that first thing I thought was, well, they're just putting it off so Roman can get the record. Okay, if they're going to do that, that's fine. Because now if that's the case and they want Roman to have that record, he's going to have to beat Cody again at WrestleMania, or have a double count out, or have a DQ, and that's going to, the people in Philadelphia might just destroy They might destroy the stadium.
Yeah, those people out there are crazy fans anyway. Anybody who watches sports of any kind, knows the craziness.
You don't mess with Philadelphia fans. They don't, and understandably, when WrestleMania gets together, it's not all people from that town, but you don't.
You're going to get it. Well, see, and I've heard. Of course, there's every news outlet, and you're talking Wall Street Journal, ESPN, Fox. Everybody's on this. This isn't just a little small realm wrestling fan thing. This is everywhere. But there's one of the rumors I saw was that they're going to do, since it's 2 nights. For those of you who don't know, WrestleMania is now a 2-night thing. A Saturday night and a Sunday night. And they do cards on each night.
Sure.
That, there's a possibility of a Reigns Rock on one night and then Cody Reigns on the next night.
Yeah.
There's a possibility of the tag team, Cody Rollins.
I saw that on night one,
right.
and then they both. Yeah, I saw that.
And then you go Rollins,
sure,
Rock, Reigns, Cody for night 2. I don't know what they're.
But that's not going to happen now because the limit. I compare this to the Daniel Bryan situation. I say how the wrestling fans can change a storyline. You go back to the Rumble the year that Daniel Bryan didn't win
it, right?
He came out. I watched it 100 times. He came out in the number 10 slot. Bray Wyatt to that point had cleared the ring, and he was just standing there waiting for him. Bryan comes out, and they blow the lid off the arena.
Oh man, yeah.
And then he gets thrown out, and Batista, who comes out number 30, he was making his big return that night. He comes out at number 30, and they boo him.
They booed him, yeah.
And the whole idea for him to come back was to make him a babyface for a few months. Then he'll beat Triple H in a pay-per-view, and then he'll retire. That didn't work out.
Didn't work out either, and they turned that real quick too, and
they
made him
They turned that, made him a bad guy. Let Daniel Bryan turn into the super duper guy, and he beats Batista at WrestleMania for the title. And then Batista turned good, and he had a nice retirement. But that's what they're messing with here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so happy to see him slam on the brakes and kind of shift gears.
Wait a minute, yeah.
You made Rock a heel. Now what are they going to do? You've got so many ways to go with this.
Right. That's what makes this fun, is because now
we can have fun again. We can have fun again. We can do what
directions you can go with it. You can, and everybody's gonna.
Everybody's
gonna talk.
What wrestling fans do. We can watch our soap opera and decide who's
exactly.
Which doctors are going to be. This is great. I love this stuff.
This is something now that. They got the chamber in 2 weeks. 3 weeks?
a week from this Saturday.
2 weeks, yeah. That they still haven't announced everything for that. Other than Rollins and Cody will be on the Grayson Waller effect. They announced that yesterday.
Well, if that's going to happen, I got to think Reigns and Rock are making a trip to Australia.
Right.
I think
they better get a hold of this.
Well, if they don't,
that's just money everywhere.
Well,
they're both going to be at SmackDown. Friday.
Well, the thing is, if those two don't go to Australia, you can guarantee Sikoa and Jimmy are going to go.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they come out instead and they do it for the family. They've been the B team for the longest time. Right. I think it'd be a cop out if they're going to bring Rollins and Cody over there to do the interview thing. It'd be a cop out to bring Jimmy and Solo, but they bring Jimmy and Solo and they kick their ass in the ring, then it's okay. Then that gets the Rock and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. There's many ways to go. I personally, I read today where they're going to be. Well, one of the rumors is that they're right now already setting things up for Rock and Roman at 41.
Right, they've pushed that off now
pushed that off to next year. So there's going to have to be a build of Rock and Roman having the little conflict of who's in charge. Does that start at WrestleMania?
See, that's what I was thinking.
Does that start at WrestleMania? Right.
Because they're going to build Rock up to be the heel all the way to WrestleMania. If somehow it plays out that he has a hand in Cody winning the title,
yes.
Reigns gets to take his break to get healthy.
Right.
The Rock kind of fades away for a little bit.
Sure.
Give it a couple months or whatever.
Well, then
you can build.
Yeah, it's got to. I think that's if I'm in creative team, if I'm on the creative team, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I let the Rock be in Roman's corner. I let Rollins be in Cody's corner. I let Jimmy and Jay run out. Jimmy and Solo run out. I have the Rock stop them, tell them they can't go in and cheat. Roman's going to win it by himself or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Maybe get one of them to jump in there or turn on the Rock, and then Jay comes out, or I don't know. I think there's got to be chaos.
Yeah, they can't. As much as everybody wants it to happen. they can't make it an entirely clean.
It's not going to be
nothing.
Well, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a clean pin, but there's going to be chaos.
There's going to be that's
going to prevent the cheat.
Right.
To allow Cody to have the clean win.
There's going to be something,
and that's got if they do that and let Cody hold the belt, and then let him hold the belt and walk out, and then the bloodline in the ring getting off in each other. That's the best way
down to go off.
That's the best way to end the show. To start the next feud of the year.
To start
screw the record. I don't care if you got more consecutive days than Hulk Hogan. I don't care. Let it go.
People like us who have been following it forever remember that.
Sure.
Now, other than them driving
it go.
Other than them driving it down everybody's throats, your wrestling fans from the past 10, 15 years, they know Hulk Hogan. They don't know the boredom that we all endured for as long as he held the belt. They don't know about that. They don't care. They're all going to know Roman Reigns, and they got what they wanted there. So hopefully they let this play out like it should.
I've got faith in it because Vince isn't around.
Right.
If Vince was around, he would say, "Screw everybody.
I'm doing what I want to do.
I want to do what I want to do."
Yes.
Reigns is going to hold the belt till I say he's not going to hold the belt.
The fans will stick around. We'll be fine.
That's exactly how it's going to be. People will always watch, and they're right. We'll always watch. But, Triple H can't wrestle, so he can't get involved. His heart condition has wiped him out. He can't do anything in the ring. So he can't get involved. So you're going to have... But anyway, we could talk about this all night. Yeah. We're going to let it roll for now, and we'll get back to it. Let's talk about the rest of the press conference. There were some other things that happened. If Becky's not going to win the Elimination Chamber, why bring her and have her front off with Rhea Ripley? I mean, that's the biggest giveaway of anything. I mean, why do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Becky's the big thing, and that's...
And see, and it's a shame about her because for a long time I did like her, but it's, I don't know, the act is getting a little old.
Yeah.
The believability is what I mean. The believability of her being this dominant female is getting old.
Well, she can't. She hadn't held a title.
Right.
You can't be the dominant one if you don't have the belt. It just doesn't work for me.
Yep. And but I'm figuring she'll win that. But you still got some big names out there that
are in the chamber.
Don't have it. Well, no, just in general.
Well,
Nia. I mean, because Nia's fighting Ripley at Chamber.
But they refuse to give the belt to anybody except Charlotte, Becky, Rhea, or Bianca, or Asuka. Those are the only people they give the belt to. Nobody else. I mean, Liv Morgan got it till she got hurt. You had Alexa Bliss had it till Ronda Rousey showed up. She never saw another belt ever. They've got the 5 people they want to give the belt to, and that they just keep rotating the 2 belts between those 2 fights. Now Charlotte's out; she's hurt. Bianca's probably going to get into a little conflict with Cargill because that's the only
the natural.
That's the only person she can go against at Mania and be worth a shit.
And look realistic. I mean, you got but I think Bayley's going to probably win the title.
She should
over Io, so that'll be somebody new. But
she should.
If you're going to if you're going to make it believable that somebody's going to pull the belt off of Rhea, you better have a storyline in place because there better be a direction or something because
I don't see Becky beating. In realism, Becky shouldn't beat her. I thought I just forget her name. The other big girl that got hurt. The one that was a tag partner. Rodriguez. I thought she matched up. She had believability, but she just wasn't as polished as Rhea.
She just wasn't there yet.
She didn't look good doing what she does. Liv Morgan is not. She's not title worthy in my book.
No, she's good.
Yes, she is.
But she's more of a
she's
more of a chaser.
Yeah, well, if they had an intercontinental woman's belt, she'd be an intercontinental champ.
That makes more sense.
She'd be the second
she's
tier
that next level.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the women usually put on a good show in the Elimination Chamber.
They always do.
In the Elimination Chamber, they're really, really good.
Yep.
So I'm interested to watch it. I think
We don't have to watch Natty in it. We don't have to watch Charlotte in it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
watching them set up their
move.
set up their moves and
every single move. So that'll be good.
So, yeah,
now the men's chamber match. I mean,
I haven't even seen lately who's the ones that are qualified.
Oh, you got McIntyre, you got Lashley, you got KO is going to beat Dom this weekend or this Friday. Hell, I forgot who the other guys were.
Sami Zayn.
Oh, LA Knight won.
And they're pushing this new. Yeah, we've seen it before with Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah,
losing everything.
He loses.
So that's going to come to a head. I got a feeling he'll turn. He'll go heel before doing something.
Well, he's always the guy that he's the underdog. That's what makes him so popular. It's what the fans get behind. But they've played the story too many times for me. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on in wrestling right now. I mean, what else we got here? CM Punk's still out.
Yeah, he's out. He's kind of messed up a lot of the storylines around.
Yeah,
I'm sure there was some stuff going in a certain direction, especially with Rollins. I'm sure it was going to be a Rollins Punk situation. So now they've got to figure out.
Well, do they let Rollins keep it, or does Rollins really need a break?
I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of the same. It's like the Roman Reigns thing. Are they really hurt, or they really need the time off?
Right.
Well, Rollins has done. Rollins did, I think, what they wanted him to do with the new belt.
Right.
Put some static behind it and make it good, make it for what it can be.
Right.
So I think it's time to move it on to somebody else. Let somebody else
carry the water.
Let somebody else do it. And
but is McIntyre the guy? I mean, they're trying. I mean, they're shoving it down our throat that he's going to win this thing. Yeah. That he's going to be the guy going against Rollins.
I really thought they were, and then they've put an abrupt halt to it, kind of. But I really thought it was going to be a Gunther thing. But,
they had to slam on the brakes again because of Punk, I guess. I mean,
it's messed up.
They need to get the belt off of Gunther.
Yeah, he needs the IC belt off. He needs,
but I don't see Jay getting it. I mean, that's going to be his Mania opponent. From what I hear. Come on,
that's just going to be a crowd thing.
Oh, sure, it's going to be the dance and the jumping and whatnot. I don't see him being in. Something else I needed to talk. I haven't talked to you about this yet. It just came up. It just hit my head. Why didn't they let DIY win that?
That surprised me. I really thought that's where they were pushing. I thought that was the whole point behind.
I mean, why push Pete Dunne and this new guy?
Yeah, Tyler Bate.
Why do they get this push?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been building DIY up for so long, and then
But see, Tyler, I don't know how much of it you follow. Tyler Bate, when they first did NXT,
right?
Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne were part of the European part of NXT, and they were huge. Tyler Bate's huge over there. So was Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne has a huge following. That's why everybody.
Oh, okay. So since they're going to Australia,
I think that is a European thing. I think they're building that up so they can have a pop over there.
Oh, okay.
That's
that
my
makes sense.
thought.
That makes it. Well, I mean, that's what they did when they let Mahal win the title years ago. Before that,
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay.
Once that's over with, whether or not they give them the titles or not,
they shouldn't give them.
They shouldn't.
I mean, but they still. We do this every time we have our conversation here. You've heard it before. We're going to do it again, but we'll do it very briefly. What the hell are they going to do with Damian Priest and the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Pissing me off. And not much about it makes me mad anymore because I understand what I'm looking at. It's a TV show. I get it, but
it's fun.
Do something with the guy. Yeah. The poor guy. I mean, he's had it,
Well, they finally let him kick out R-Truth last night.
Yeah.
Or Monday night.
Well, they need to build him back up because they've gone back down to a comedy routine.
It's this roller coaster thing.
Instead of being a faction that needs to be with somebody like Balor and Priest in it.
Right.
I mean, it's not a comedy act. It's not a.
Well, they let the R-Truth thing go for so long. Now they beat him up, and so now it's turning into a real fight. So, you got Truth, and you got the Miz, and you got whoever helped him out the other night.
Right, and you got, and then that needs to be what McDonough and Dom do.
Sure.
To do that part.
Sure.
But what do you do with Balor? What do you do?
I know.
I mean,
if Priest gets into if they drop the belts and Priest gets in and gets into the world title conversation, where does Balor go? Does he go to the U.S. title?
All right.
I mean, I think eventually, what they will, if they want to keep the faction going, Dom and JD need to win the tag belts.
Yes.
Priest needs to be either the U.S. champ or the world champ, and Balor needs to be the other one. I mean, they got to hold all 4 belts at one time. Give it the old 4 horseman thing. Let's do it.
And you still got Rhea.
Then you got Rhea, who's got the other belt. I mean, if you want
and I thought about that little bit of a twist, whether it's at Chamber or Mania, is to have somebody, whoever, whether it's McIntyre or anybody, beat Rollins. Have Priest cash him in, because you're really playing this whole McIntyre, I've been screwed kind of, thing. And,
right.
Everybody's out to get me thing. What better way to do that than let him win the title than
screw him again?
Than have Priest come out and flip on him.
That'd be a great storyline.
I mean, because him and McIntyre have butted heads before.
It's a great storyline.
I think it'd be
and it'd get Rollins a chance to go take a break if he's hurting as bad as they say he is, which I think he is. And then it gives McIntyre a reason to chase Priest, which is
you give the title to Priest, who's waited a whole year.
Sure. Then you just use the Freebird rule, and you give Balor both tag belts, and he can give either one to Dom or JD, and all of a sudden they got the tag belts and they got the world title.
Has the Freebird rule ever been? I mean, other than the Freebirds, Demolition did it. Just curious. That would be cool. That would be a cool.
Be a cool way to do it.
Something different.
It'd be something different. It would.
Because on the men's and women's side, they're trying to build some tag teams.
Yes, they are.
They're trying to make them.
Yes, they are.
Somewhat worthwhile. Again,
make them relevant. And I see where they're going with it. And just, I mean, I love watching Imperium. I mean, I love them.
They're funny. They're good.
I love them. They're so good.
They're very, very. They're old school, believable.
Right.
They really are. They're very old school, but they're good.
But we'll see what happens on SmackDown Friday night and see if they move it any closer. So,
yep, we'll make that turn.
So now, how about the NCAA basketball? It's almost March Madness time.
Time to really. I've been watching, but it's time to really start watching it now. Now we're starting to talk.
It's getting fun now because I mean I look at the top 25 this week, and I mean even the AP is trying to get some interest in this. I mean they put Indiana State back in there.
Yeah.
I mean
then you start in their underdogs.
Well, you start hearing the words Larry Bird, and people start going, What?
Oh, yeah.
I found something interesting in the top 25 this week. I mean, you got Florida Atlantic, Indiana State, St. Mary's, Creighton, and Dayton, all in the top 25 at the same time. So, and I mean, hell, even Marquette's up to number 4. Right. So you've got all these.
St. Mary's is good. They're good.
But you got all these smaller names in the top 25, and then you have very few football schools in
Kansas.
it.
Just saying.
See the shit I got to deal with.
I'm just saying.
I try to make a valid point. I go for a valid point. And your Big 12 bleeds out of you sometimes. But I mean, you got UConn back at number 1. You got
Purdue,
Houston, and then you got Arizona, Kansas. I mean, you got Marquette, Arizona, Kansas, North Carolina, Tennessee, Duke, Iowa State, South Carolina, Baylor, Auburn, Illinois, Alabama are your top 15. So
a whole lot of Big 12.
A whole lot of Big 12. I think there's 6 of the 12. 6 of the 12 are in the top 25.
Yep.
I mean, did you get the? I didn't look. Did you get the power rating?
Yeah, I got the power rankings.
Okay.
The conferences.
Okay. Who do you have number 1?
Big 12, of course.
Well, obviously. I mean, they're so.
Yeah.
They're just so damn deep.
Yeah. This was as of yesterday when it came out. Big 12 was 1.
Today is this is Valentine's Day, February 14th. It's the day we're doing this broadcast. So just so you get an idea, when he says yesterday, that was the 13th. Go.
I thought you were talking about Valentine's Day. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, loser. I mean, he's my brother.
Yeah.
I love him. He's my brother.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Big 12.
Got it.
Big 10.
Okay.
SEC.
Ooh, really?
The Big East.
So I thought the East would be ahead of SEC.
Nope.
Okay.
Mountain West.
I see that.
Then the Pac-12.
Okay.
Then the ACC.
Okay.
Then the West Coast.
Okay.
Then the American Athletic. And then Conference USA. That should be the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, that's top 10.
Well, the only one that
Western
surprises me, I figured Big East would be third.
Western Athletic was right behind them there at the end, but yeah, that's your top 10.
Well, I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a balanced tournament this year. I mean, I don't see anybody dominating this thing. I mean, you've got your team. I mean, UConn's got 2 losses, Purdue's got 2, Houston's got 3, and everybody else is 5 or more. I mean, so
I was gonna say this is.
It's going to be a balance. I mean, Purdue always chokes. UConn is 50-50. I mean, UConn's good, but they're not old school UConn good.
No.
Purdue is good, but Purdue always finds a way to lose to a number 12 seed somewhere down the line.
The team I'm really looking at is Houston. Houston is
incredibly good.
Big Kelvin Sampson fan anyway, but
Houston's they're scary good.
Yeah.
But Kelvin Sampson doesn't have the greatest record in the tournament either.
No, he doesn't. But I would love to see them go again and actually pull it off, but.
Well, I think this is a good.
The Big 12.
This is a good. I think we got to if they're seeded right. I mean, we could have 3 teams in the Final Four. In the Big 12.
Yeah.
If they're seeded right, I mean, we're looking at probably 4 of the. I think 10 teams are going to get in there from the Big 12.
Oh, I mean,
and I think 4 of them are going to be in the top 3 or 4.
Very, very possible. The conference tournament's coming up, and my God, that Big 12 tournament's going to be.
Yeah, it's the 12th through the 16th, I think.
Yeah. Did you see how they're formatting it this year with the 14 teams?
No. We've only got 12. We got 14. That's right. We've got 14.
No, there's 14.
Right.
There's 14. There's 4 teams with a double bye. So if you're in the top 4, you're automatically in the quarterfinals. And then on that Tuesday when
double
bye. You got 4 teams with a double bye. You got the next 6 teams get a bye. And that first night of basketball, your number 11 plays your number 14, your number 12 plays your number 13. They're stretching it out. They're starting it on Tuesday, so they're going to be playing with the Patriot Conference, where all these tournaments start on Tuesdays. Yeah, so it's good because they're trying to keep you from playing the old school Big 8 days where they had to play 4 nights in a row or whatever.
So the higher you rank, that's
your top 4. Well, your top 4 are automatically in the quarterfinals.
Well,
so your 11 to 14 seeds are gonna play, and then your next 6 get buys.
Well, see, that gives them an opportunity to get a higher ranking.
Yes,
I mean, it really does.
You're gonna,
Wow.
So it's gonna be fun. Conference tournament time. I love that time of year.
Conference tournaments are always fun to watch because you lose or you go home, and most of the teams, they know if they don't get to at least the quarters, they're going home anyway.
So I love when Monday night comes and that Monday, Tuesday when the smaller conferences are playing. It's great basketball. You get the little gymnasiums that hold 2,000 people, and they're all on top of them, and it's win or go home. It's a great time of year.
It's fun to watch. It is fun to watch. So what do you? I mean, wow, it's really early to be thinking about that, but. Man, we just got we got a couple more weeks. Who your top 4 are going to be.
Man, I don't know. Like I said, if I'm going right now, I'm probably going to go probably Houston. Oh man,
I know
Houston. I hate to say it because again, they're notorious for choking, but Kansas,
right? Well, I'm just saying who's going to get the top 4 seeds. I mean,
top 4 seeds? I think
top 4.
I think
top 4 seeds of the tournament, the big tournament. Yeah, I think Houston, and I still think Kansas gets one because. Yeah. Well,
I say UConn, Houston.
Yeah, they got to give one to Purdue. It's a Big 10 school.
I'm going to say UConn, Purdue, Houston, and
I don't know.
I'm going to say Kansas. But I haven't looked at Marquette's schedule to see if Marquette's going to be able to continue to win. I mean, if they...
Well, Arizona's playing really, really well, too. I mean, and they're...
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough... I mean, we still got a couple... What is today? The 14th? We just said this. The 14th.
We still got 2 or 3 weeks.
We still got 2 or 3 weeks of basketball before we start looking at that. But it's I tell you what, it's going to be a fun tournament simply because the parity of college... We've talked about it before. The parity of college basketball right now... you've got. I mean, are there any juniors playing anymore?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, usually it's freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah. That's what I say though. They've got so much. I mean, hell, they got 2 or 3 weeks before it really starts to settle in. Hell, UConn and Purdue could lose 3 games apiece. Hell, we don't know.
That's true.
They don't know. I watched
But the parity is so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still going to get in the tournament, and they're still going to be in a top 4 seed.
And your conferences like the Big 12 and the Big 10, they're just beating each other up. But
Yep.
OU got back in the top 25, and Iowa State just dismantled them. I mean, Baylor, not Iowa State. Baylor.
Yeah,
Baylor just beat the daylights out of them.
and OU's still in the top 25.
Yeah,
because of
powers. There's
they're
schedule
just
power.
So
the RPI ranking is absurd because of this.
Well, it's just going to be such a good time.
No, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because you got to, like you said, you don't have again, I go back to a couple of the games I was watching this weekend, watched Kentucky play, and it's not the Kentucky of old where they don't miss, where they do. No. These are still kids who
they're kids,
and it gets ugly. It gets ugly.
Well,
at times. They get to running and gunning.
Well, that's with any of the games you watch.
I mean,
last Sunday, before the Super Bowl, I didn't want to watch the 6-hour, pregame, so I watched a little bit of basketball, and man, it's intense.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's intense. It reminds me of when I was refereeing high school basketball back in the day, where these guys are taking it serious. They want to win.
Well, yeah,
and it's just a regular season game, but you can tell the youth, their thought process as kids is still there.
Well, like you said, you're talking, I don't know, 80% freshmen and sophomores, so they're playing for drafts. And it can go in. Like you said, you got St. Mary's, you got these little schools. You don't have to go to Duke and Kansas to get drafted.
Right.
Be drafted in the top 2 or 3 anymore.
You're right.
Their guys, they have a big tournament on national stage, and man, their draft stock just climbs.
Well, it's getting there, man. It's almost there. It's a fun time of year with March Madness as it is, and baseball season's right around the corner.
Pitchers and catchers reported today.
They reported today. I've been kind of following the free agent stuff, and it's kind of all over the place a little bit. There's still some top 4 or 5 guys. I mean,
there's still some big ones out there.
They're still out there. Their market value's falling pretty quick because they've waited so long to go anywhere. And
I think the latest big one was Soler going, but that was.
God, I wish he would have stayed with Chicago with the Cubs. I'd love to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Wrigley Field was built for this guy.
Oh God.
Why that?
Bellinger. The word is on.
Well, see, Bellinger. But another 1-year contract guy,
And I'm always, like I said, a huge Dodger fan. I was a big fan of Bellinger. I hated to see him go, but he struggled for 2 years. Then he went to Chicago and had a great year.
Well, that's a contract year. All these guys have a great year. Their contract year because they start caring about playing and not worrying about the hangnail they've got that's going to put them on the 14-day disabled list. Whoa, I did it again.
You did it again.
I did it again.
I'm going to start marking these on the video.
Son of a bitch. I really need to stop doing that. But I mean, well, it's just because this week I was looking at some of the old clips and some of the old players and some of the old, I read the Johnny Bench story again. He played with a broken finger for most of a year, and he still was the best catcher in the game.
We need to, as baseball approaches, we need to do a couple best of
podcasts. We will. We'll do our favorite.
We're gonna start going back in some.
Yeah,
cover some stuff in the past. We promised y'all we'd do that.
Baseball season starting. Let's do that. Let's do this next one. Let's do it. We'll figure out a list to do, and we'll do a quick one of some of our.
Got any opinions or any lists you want us to do?
Comment.
Throw them out there. Put a comment out there.
Okay, let's wrap this thing up here for the night. We'll call this a good one, and but like you said, comment. Let us know what we want to talk about. We're gonna get into some old school baseball next time around. Create a couple lists of what we think are some of the older, better players. If you guys got any opinions,
please go out and subscribe. The subscribers are climbing slowly. We've been doing this just right at a month now. So
is that how long we've been doing this?
Yeah, just a month.
Wow.
Yep. So we're enjoying it.
We love it. We love doing it. We enjoy coming out. I hope you're enjoying it too.
Looking.
Spread
the word.
The views are going up, and we appreciate that. We need some more. Need some more subscribers. Need some more. Spread that word out there. We're going to be doing a preseason baseball roundtable. Going to have 2 or 3 other guys join us that are some baseball fans that we know. Going to be having here with us. Probably do a WrestleMania roundtable too. Whenever that shows up, do a preview of that big event that we all know and love.
And probably do one for the NCAA basketball.
Baby, got to do a March Madness one. Going to throw that together.
Come out. We'll do a little bit of that too. So
we'll hit that. See what we think.
Throw some opinions out there, please.
Give us opinions. Give us comments, and thanks as always. Thanks for stopping by. Spread the word. Let's get more people watching this. And if you got anything to do, or you you want us to do, put it in the comments, and we'll tackle your topics. So appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you much.